Good evening, greetings and love. I'm Marcia with Gnoshery Libertas, and you are joining me for Sanctuary episode 52, scheduled to originally take place on Monday, January 23rd, 2023, but it is now Wednesday, the 25th. And the light transmission from Spirit is No More Excuses. And on Monday night, I had no more excuses not to rest. My body was not willing to bring forth this transmission. So here I am on Wednesday night, sadly without the live audience, but hopefully still able to bring through this transmission that Spirit would like us to have for this week so that we can better navigate and move through what we are facing on not only a human level, but also what is moving through us within the level of soul. And some of the supporting energies that I will be tuning into tonight is that Spirit is once again highlighting that it is time for us to share our gifts with the world. And we had been talked about on other calls, that these talents and gifts, these qualities of soul within ourselves, because it may not even be something tangible that we're offering. It may be something that is coming from our eye contact or from our smile. These gifts are now required for us to share them with the world because that is why they were given to us. And so we're also going to take note tonight of any self-sabotaging energies that might be showing up in our lives that are preventing us from tuning into what Spirit is calling the love force, which is pouring onto the planet right now. And also highlighting the spiritual discipline that it requires in order to thrive during such a time of turmoil in the collective sphere. And finally, tuning into this energy of remembrance or feelings and emotions or nostalgia or even healing, triggers or wounds coming to the surface through deep emotion, through a highly felt sensation for us to embrace and for us to really get eyes on so that we can move into a more healed and integrative state. Within this light transmission of No More Excuses, the very first energy that Spirit highlights is that we need to share our gifts and that we can get ready to see and feel movement when we choose to do so. It is time to follow this guidance without hesitancy, and as long as we withhold the gifts that we have to share, we may continue to feel blocked and confused as to the path ahead of us. This energy comes to remind us of what we already know, and that is that we have something amazing to share with the rest of the world. And Spirit reminds us last week that our gifts were given to us to be in service to the all. So it is time to set aside any fears or doubts that we have and to focus on joyful service. The amount of people that we help is infinite when we are doing what we love. Share what you have to share. These gifts were not just given to us, but for us to share with others. It is time to look at all the ways we are holding ourselves back or withholding the gifts we have to share. We are once again encouraged from Spirit, let go of any excuses and begin. And particularly if you are an artist, a public speaker, a business owner, an intuitive healer or counselor, all of these intuitive, very close to the earth passions and inspirations were also highlighted last week, that these are now supported in ways that they may not have previously been in the material world. So we are encouraged, take time out today to sit in deep contemplation and to open to the ways that our gifts can change the world, and to know that Spirit is ready to direct us. In fact, our soul knows the way. So it is time to take that leap of faith, to surrender to divine will within our deepest hearts, and to share our gifts with others. The prison wave energy of self-sabotage steps forward as another energy highlighted within this transmission of No More Excuses. And so we're really asked this week to acknowledge any place where we still might be sabotaging ourselves. And this could be with actions, habits, rituals, things that we are kind of ingrained in routines that might not be healthy for us. Or this could simply be living within lack or poverty consciousness. And so Spirit asks, what self-sabotaging thoughts or hidden beliefs are in fact preventing us from our highest good? We may believe we are doing all that we can to manifest our greatest reality, but perhaps we are giving into thoughts of the following: I can't do this. I'm not worthy. I'll fail if I try. I don't deserve this, or I'm not lovable, or any variations of such. This archonic interference locks us in a prison of our own making when we succumb to it, which is good news, Spirit says, because it means that we have the key to let ourselves out at any moment. This is the sign that we need to spend some quiet time with ourselves, addressing any beliefs that are countering our hard work to get ahead, and to know that we can change them if we want to. We're encouraged to take inventory of our thoughts, to let ourselves out of prison, and to spend a minimum of a few days, that'd be wonderful too, a few minutes outdoors each day to soak in the silence and to let the sunshine in. During this light transmission of No More Excuses, the next energy to be highlighted was that of love force, and the lyrics, cutting through the avenues, I'll always find my way back to you. And this feeling from Spirit that we are never far from home, we are never far from love, and that this love force can cut through any avenue and is always available to us for us to find our way back. That when we tune into this love force that makes all creation possible, it is the same force that is present when we create with our authentic originality. And when we bring formlessness into form, or our inspired ideas into expression. This primeval force does not know good or bad. It is up to us to provide the clear intention that will guide it to manifest. We are loosing the arrow, but we do not dictate the direction that it flies. Calling in the beauty from the invisible world, we allow it to birth itself into the world of matter. This is a sacred reminder. We are a channel for the original divine energy of creation. We're encouraged to become the paintbrush, the canvas, and the artist simultaneously. See, feel, experience, and become the living weave. As the Holy Spirit is moving through us, we're encouraged to set our intentions ethically and clearly and allow Spirit to take care of the details. As we move through this light transmission of No More Excuses, we are greeted by the black dragons from Saturn, and they are here to emphasize the importance of spiritual discipline, and particularly the wisdom that we gain through spiritual discipline. We are encouraged from Spirit to focus on our ultimate vision and also to congratulate ourselves that we have passed a tremendous test, that we have moved through heavy Saturnic energy, and we are now in the ascended aspect of Saturn. And it really felt like Spirit was speaking to those heavy densities that we moved through in November and December, and even not as much so, but definitely still in the air this month of January. So now moving more into this ascended aspect of Saturn, which is helping us to organize, to apply ourselves to tasks, and Spirit said particularly tasks which once seemed overwhelming. It brings with it a feminine energy of rest, peace, and calm, which enables the wisdom to effortlessly come forward. A masculine thrust of energy is followed by a space of feminine rest, and we are allowing this divine marriage to fluidly move through us without directing it. This is pure white light, and it is connecting our root chakra into this fifth dimensional blueprint, and it is help anchoring it onto this planet, onto the physical matrix and earth plane. And so Spirit once again reminds us that spiritual discipline is of utmost importance right now. As well, we can use the violet flames of transmutation to work through some of these heavier densities as it dissolves any energy or thoughts that are not focused on our ultimate vision. When this message appears, it is time for us to address tasks with discipline and focus, to ground the higher energies onto our pathway, both personally and collectively. We are being gifted energies of focus, concentration, determination, and the ability to stick to a routine where necessary. This is a true blessing, and this energy indicates that our feet are firmly planted on the organic ascension path, and that everything we are doing is for the highest good of all. Once again, the angels congratulate us for having passed a very difficult test that we have been undergoing for some time. And it is our time now to celebrate our success and to move forward with true discipline and the joy and bliss that it brings. This last supporting energy for the light transmission, no more excuses, is that of remembrance, or what Spirit calls a resurfacing of deep feelings and emotions. And the lyrics here were, when you're looking in the mirror, demons may be closer than they appear. I'm staring at a ghost. And so once again, this feeling of being in a moment where we know the past, present, and future as one, and that we are connected energetically to both this past and future. Life is an evolving story, and where we are now is the result of where we have been. This energy signifies that these past feelings and emotions are resurfacing from deep within us, and we may find ourselves on an emotional roller coaster over the coming days. We're encouraged, do not fight this. This is all perfect and necessary. It is important to remember and honor our past, as it is part of us and part of our soul's journey. And we are asked now to honor every part of it, the good and the bad, for in some way every experience has helped to expand our understanding and our appreciation for life. This does not mean obsessive preoccupation with the past or future, as this only serves to rob us of the present moment. Rather, Spirit guides us to embrace and explore any emotions or feelings which resurface and which desire our attention, and to know that this deeper connection is our truest purpose right now. Spirit reminds us we have no more excuses. It is time to share our gifts. It is time to put ourselves out there in whatever way is true for us, to also bring ourselves inward, to notice any of the places where we are engaging in self-sabotaging thoughts or behaviors or habits, or patterns in our lives, or staying in old woundings. We are encouraged right now to get unstuck and to really tap into this love force that is pouring down around us and through us, and that is always available to us, and particularly through these habits of spiritual discipline, of focusing on our ultimate vision and not getting lost in everything that the world is constantly serving us to distract us or to misalign us from what is true and what is purposeful. And also to acknowledge that this is a time of remembrance and nostalgia. And we may have feelings and emotions that are very overwhelming or seeming to come from left field or maybe even from a place unknown. And yet we are encouraged to embrace them, that we have no more excuses to deny or suppress or hide or repress all of who we are. So we are encouraged to embrace ourselves fully, to share our gifts, to be loving and gentle and forgiving with ourselves when we find ourselves in that place of self-sabotage, but also to course correct, to know that that love force is always available to us and through us and for us, and particularly when we can tap into this wisdom of our spiritual discipline. So thank you all for being with me tonight in spirit, and I look forward to meeting again next Monday live for Sanctuary episode 53.